armor shops. It's almost easier to tell you what isn't randomized. The order of the spells learned, that's randomized, or they're guaranteed to learn all 12, or all 10 spells by level 16, I should say. Also, the enemy locations and the enemy spells and abilities are randomized as well, and we'll get to the Dragon Lord a little bit later, but we are underway. Fairy water to start, and a bonus magic key.
All right, we'll take that.
Now, no spells as of yet, but this will allow our runners to, well, hang on to that key. You're going to see a bit of a treasure chest glitch here in a second. You're seeing them re-enter the throne room, and in Mr. Holmes' case, is going to save. The reason for that is, well, treasure chests, they respawn every time you go to the overworld map, but due to the programming limits at the time the game was made, the game only tracks up to 8 treasure chests as opened, and every chest opened beyond that can be taken over and over again. So here you take the first 3 to start, then you go back into the throne room and it keeps it there, as we've got Erdrick's token, we've got a torch, and now you're going to see it's going to say a torch again, but in actuality, it is an herb. And we've got the fighter's ring as well. It's saying something different because the game doesn't know what to do once that inventory of open chests is full.
Yeah, Farron, in Mr. Holmes' case, his said a bamboo pole. So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And that's how these runners can get on a gold grind. Unfortunately, they won't be able to do it here at the start of the game. They'll have to do it elsewhere if they do decide to do a gold grind.
Well, Holmes now, after resetting, is going to check what is in the back of Tantagel Castle. We'll see if that leads somewhere. Meanwhile, there's a town right outside of the castle, and it's Rimeldar. So, easy key access here.
Yes, indeed, the town of Rimeldar, or Rimeldar. It's like tomato and tomato. Let's see what's in the shop here. We've got Full Play It. Pretty nice mid-game type things here. Now, not enough keys to see what is in Rimeldar, or Rimeldar. Now, a new wrinkle to this version of the randomizer, the fairy water and torch can be used as weapons, and that is exactly what HighRofellos did. So level 2, 1 attack, 1 agility, 12 hit points, and 17 magic points, so that's not too shabby. Yeah, the hit points and the magic points are nice, but without any spells, the magic points don't do any good at this time, and not only getting 1 strength, it's going to make taking, mid-tier enemies difficult, so they're probably going to want to stick with the lower ones, and even ghosts can't do anything about that.
Yeah, a little problematic. Now, Holmes is opting to go into the treasury, and it looks like HighRofellos is going to do the same. I believe I saw in chat that there was 5 strength to start.
Yes, you're correct about that, Farron.
So yeah, that fighter's ring that was put on, that adds 2 more attack power to bring it up to 7, but that's still rather on the low side.
Especially this early on, so...
Yeah.
And, they've got sleep. The magicians, they're going to probably send Mr. Holmes back to start.
Ooh, and the ghosts, they have fire breath.
Ooh, that is kind of brutal. At least it's that DL2 breath.
No, but even with that HP boost, all it takes is 1 in the case of Mr. Holmes. Now you see here the torch being utilized rather wisely, as that does anywhere from 6 to 9 points of damage, whereas that fairy water, it does anywhere between 8 and 16.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that, Farron. And sometimes when you have low attack power going into the Dragon Lord fight, you may see runners utilize fairy water strats. We'll see if that comes into play or not.
Well, we have a question in chat. Do you start with a sword of some sort, or do you just slap them as an attack? No, in the very beginning, unless you find something in that treasury there, it's like the former WWE team, The Revival, no flips, just fists.
And there's the weak breath that Mr. Holmes has taken twice in a row that will send him back to Tantagel Castle. Same thing with HighRofellos, and gonna reset.
I wonder if HighRofellos is going to try to maybe do an herb grind to try to hang on to some HP, maybe? I'm curious to see. I mean, this is starting from scratch. He essentially not necessarily wasted the last 5 minutes, but you don't know what your opponent's doing. It's always a challenge when you reset that far in. I mean, you could, yes, Beta Strep noting grinding herbs and torches. You can use those torches as a weapon. And HighRofellos might be doing just that. Now, there's the token. That's one of the essential items needed. Now, there's the torch, though. And HighRofellos forgot to go back into the room. So, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is kind of a curious play, but we'll see how this plays out as MisterHomes will go ahead and one-shot this slime, trying to get to level 3 next.
Well, HighRofellos trying to get away from the ghost, and the ghost has none of it, and breathes a bunch of fire. My guess is HighRofellos probably looking for, I mean, maybe a scorpion to go after with that fairy water.
I mean, it makes sense to me. We're looking for 17. Well, one more experience point for MisterHomes will get him to level 3, but trying to do it against this scorpion may not be the best way, and MisterHomes is able to escape. Unfortunately, he finds another ghost. He's looking for another slime. That slime will get him the 1 experience point to get him to level 3, and there it is. Oh, but it dodges, and they have her. What a terrible break there for MisterHomes. Oof, you hate to see that.
Oh, no. And HighRofellos resetting again. So now 6 minutes and 45 seconds essentially gone by the wayside here. Hyro may want to figure out what the strategy is and then go back and save so you're not having to reopen these chests again and again.
Oh yeah, definitely about that. Yeah, you gotta be decisive when it comes to these randomizers here, Farron. It looks like right now HighRofellos might be kind of in that in-between zone, as it were.
Well, here's level 3. 2 power, 2 speed, 19 hit points, 12 magic points. So lots of HP and MP, but no spells and not a whole lot of strength.
Yeah, that is kind of weird how we're seeing this play out so far. We're having a lot of hit points, a lot of magic, but nothing to spend that magic on. This could be one of those slogs of a seed here for Burgundy, where these runners are going to just have to absolutely earn it before, they establish themselves as, having a relatively strong character.
Most certainly. And now Hyro is saving. And Angel FM noting in chat that Hyro hasn't played for a while, just getting back into the swing of things here for the tournament, so there may be some various quirks that don't immediately come to mind with the rust of the game.
And MisterHomes sees another slime, and again, with the enemies that are in this area, it seems like it's MisterHomes' best bet at the moment, but you're going to have to get to 35 experience points to get to level 4. And there's level 2 now for HighRofellos again. Another town here, and we have coal!
Oh, this could be big. Coal does have a searchable spot, which can have one of the key items. It can have... Well, let's see here. We've got the Death Necklace. That probably is one of the least desired items of the potential 7 that can be found.
Yeah, especially right now. I mean, yeah, it could be useful against the Dragon Lord if our strength continues to be on the low side, because what it does is, when you wear the Death Necklace, it cuts your maximum HP by 25%, but it does add 10 attack points, so it may come in handy later, but yeah, right now that's probably the worst item these runners could have seen at this point.
Well, HighRofellos finding an area there with the Drakey, and that is not a bad thing here. Look at this play. MisterHomes going to sell the Death Necklace for 1,200 gold. That is a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off.
I love the dodgeball reference right there. But hey, sometimes it might be a good short-term gain because, yeah, he got 1,200 gold out of it, and now he could go shopping with that 1,200 gold. And, of course, look at this. He gets a little more gold from that tile, 124. Now, why did gold appear there? I would have thought nothing would appear there.
Well, the Death Necklace, it has a weird quirk to it in the original game, in that in the vanilla version of the game, it had about a 1 out of 32 chance of appearing in the mountain cave, and otherwise, it would just be about 100 and some odd gold, as you see here. Now, in this case, because it's shuffled around, Mr. Holmes has realized this is a mini gold grind right here. It takes a little bit longer, but this is a heck of a play here. So this will allow him to get up rather slowly, but be able to purchase whatever's available here in coal and heading back to the weapon shop. Oh man, this is great. So he's going to go 2,500. He's going to get the broadsword. That'll add 20 attack power. He's going to get the half plate for an additional 16 defense. This is a heck of a play here by Mr. Holmes. This is why he's the top-ranked player and a 2-time tournament champion.
Oh, absolutely there. And, yeah, that was a very nice play there. The mini gold grind. Looked like he got you between 100 and 130 golds every time you picked up the gold. And an intentional death warp there, as Mr. Holmes has no chance against the knight. You got to be careful. Anytime you take a death, you do lose half of your gold. As you can see, went from 125 to 62. So if you're going to do a gold grind, make sure you get to your destination.
Yeah, the Death Necklace in the vanilla version of the game, it is just a cursed item that takes up inventory space. You don't want to put it on, it's bad. Here, in the randomizer, at least a little bit of a trade-off was put in that if you put on the Death Necklace, yes, you're still cursed, but it gives you 10 additional attack power, which they could certainly use, but at a cost. That costs 25% of your maximum hit points. Now, they do have a lot of hit points in the early going, but if you're cursed, you get kicked out of the castle, the king doesn't want you there, you have no way of healing, it's just not a good time. So they definitely don't want to do that here. But this is what gets Mr. Holmes off the ground, is now to level 4, 2 power, 5 speed, 3 hit points, 15 magic points, still no spells.
And so many magic points and nothing to spend it on, and we're in level 4. There's a certain someone in chat who would approve of this right about now.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure the Schadenfreude is strong, that's for sure. But again, they are guaranteed to get all 10 of their spells by level 16. It is possible that they could go spell-less for the first 11 or 12 levels, and then they start to trickle in toward the end, have it very backloaded. It is entirely possible.
Now, in spite of the slow start that HighRofellos has had, he too is at level 4 himself. He's gone into some good enemy grinds himself. And there is level 5 now for Mr. Holmes. What do we get here? 7 power, that's alright. 13 speed, 10 hit points. Finally a spell. What's it going to be? Sleep. Ooh, could be useful.
Yeah, that could be good for a tougher enemy or one that's hitting you a little hard. You could put it to sleep, try to hack away at it while it's asleep. And you see here the difference that broadsword is making, as Mr. Holmes able to, with that additional 20 attack power, just continue to lay into some of these late early game enemies.
Magician's giving out 8 experience points, but we still need to get to 165 experience points in order to get to level 6. And now that you're looking at steeper level ups, these slimes become less desirable. Now, HighRofellos finds a red slime, which gives 2 experience points instead of 1.
And I should note here, hello und willkommen to those joining us here from SpeedGaming Deutsch. Welcome on in, alongside LOZ Cards Fan 23, Ich bin Ferran Burgundy.
Ich bin LOZ Cards Fan 23.
Yeah, 23. That Duolingo is starting to pay off a little bit here. But no, we are in a Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament match. And we have a nice crit on Mr. Holmes' side.
Meanwhile,
Mr. Holmes, the top-ranked player.
Indeed, he is the top-ranked player. Looks like HighRofellos is trying to go into a race situation with the Scorpion. We'll see if it pays off for HighRofellos. Scorpions have anywhere between 10 and 13 HP, give 12 experience points. Ooh, getting down there. Is this going to be enough to take down this? Yes! Just enough there for HighRofellos.
Level 6, 2 power, 4 speed, 0 HP, 5 MP, and the spell of outside.
Just a bit outside. Tried the corner and missed. Oh, Poltergeist having stop spell. That did nothing on Mr. Holmes. And takes care of the Poltergeist. Well done there for Holmes. And unfortunately, HighRofellos getting sent back to the castle.
Getting hit in the feels with that baseball reference as, well, at least here where I'm at in Philadelphia, we had baseball, and now we don't, and, ooh.
Wolves have DL2 breath. Ouch.
Yeah, that is a bit spicy. Yeah, missing sleep on Wolves, it's a little better than a coin flip, as Wolves have a 7 out of 16 resistance to the sleep spell. So you have about a 56% chance of hitting it. But in this case, it did not.
Oh, the Scorpion did no damage on that attack against Mr. Holmes. Looking for 337 experience points to get to level 7. And HighRofellos trying to beat the Scorpion to the final HP. One final attack. Is this going to be enough? No! A tough break there for HighRofellos. Not able to get enough HP to claim the experience points. A little correction there. You said that wolves have a 7 and 16 resistance. It's actually just a 1 and 16 resistance. So the fact that the wolf dodged the sleep was very unlucky on Holmes' side.
I was looking at the wrong column. That's what it was. I looked at the wraith right underneath of it. You know, I'm getting a little older, and you know, I need to get those bifocals in. Got the birthday coming up tomorrow. You know, I'm just yeah.
Well, happy early birthday,
oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I am looking at the same cheat sheet you're looking at in terms of the resistance. And yes, wraiths are the ones that do have 7/16, as well as werewolves.
So that made it even, yeah, that made it even worse with the wolves.
Right.
Yeah, another hashtag Burgundy bungle. Big surprise.
Not a problem, as Mr. Holmes one-shots the ghost. Gets the 4 experience points that come with it. A Magidrake, 10 to 13 HP, gives 12 experience points. And actually, these 12 experience points would give HighRofellos level 2 if he can hold on, but oh, a dodge.
Yep, so a little less than 19 minutes in, HighRofellos picking up the close, as chat noting the Ray Stevens streak percent is done. Boogity boogity, no? Again, showing my age.
Boogity boogity, wait a minute, is this NASCAR?
No, Ray Stevens, the song The Streak from back in 1974.
Oh,
yes, sir, they call it The Streak.
Yes.
Yeah, don't look at
I remember.
Yeah, Royale knows, okay, you got it.
Yeah, now I remember, because yeah, the whistle is the most memorable part of that song, yeah.
All right, Holmes here in Rimmildar getting some keys.
Plenty of cash to buy some keys, so that's not a problem for Mr. Holmes. Right now, HighRofellos is about 10 experience points away. This Scorpion would do it if he wins the race.
Well, this is a heck of a punch here. And in Rimmildar, we have an herb.
Not a terrible item to find. It's going to refill your HP. Probably was looking for something a little bit better than that. Going to go shopping. Well, not enough money to go shopping. Just wanted to check again to see what was in that store. We can get the full plate for 3,000 golds.
Yeah, one of only a couple upgrades. You have the full plate, the magic armor, or Erdrick's armor left.
Good news, HighRofellos won the race that time, and he is now up to level 5.
Well, now back in the treasury at Tantagel here is Mr. Holmes. And I'm thinking there may be, I think he's trying to set up for what may be on the inside of that back cave in Tantagel. We didn't really get to see, I don't believe, what was in there, as Holmes a very good navigator of the dark. That night vision of his coming in handy.
Yeah, I'm sure if he was in the commentator's booth, he could tell you exactly which cave he's in one step. Not 10 steps like us commentators here, but one step he could tell us what cave it is.
Well, he's going to torch it, and there, it's the mountain cave.
There you go, and he may be setting up for a mountain cave gold grind, potentially.
Oh, there's 4 cracks at it, as he's already got the soul, but here's an armored knight.
AK-47, you hate to see these, and he is not going to escape. He's going back.
Ooh. Yep, you're going back. Bye.
That's another speedrunning game altogether, Farad.
Knew I had to find a way to get Brysolf reference in here somehow.
Absolutely. You know, he has assisted with the commentary of this tournament so far, so yeah, it's great to have him aboard. Absolutely.
He and I commentated just yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. And this time a regular night, but the same result.
Man.
Lose 21 HP, and now HighRofellos is going to be sent back to start by this magician, and another night, and again getting blocked and blocked again. So, any thoughts of a gold grind? These enemies here are making Mr. Holmes think twice. HighRofellos is now 42 experience points away from level 6. Fail the gold grind opportunities for Mr. Holmes. This could give HighRofellos a little bit of an opening here, Farhan.
Yeah, it's, I mean, at this point, the lead, while it looks rather large, as Mr. Holmes has about triple the experience that HighRofellos does, in the grand scheme of things, that is about a 260 experience lead. That's just slightly over 1 max enemy, 1 metal slime, and that evens it up.
Yeah, metal slimes have 3 HP, but have a very high evasion rate, so it's hard to get those free 255 points. Of course, sometimes you like to see this if you're people in the chat or in the commentators booth. Sometimes they have the L2 breath.
That happened in the seed that I commentated yesterday. That was, well, I think it was easier to mention what didn't have Dragon Lord 2 breath in that seed from yesterday.
That was a nice find there for Mr. Holmes. That Druid Lord giving 58 experience points, and now he finds himself 137 away from level 8. A magician now for HighRofellos. So, again, a little bit of a slog early on. It's been a lot of enemy grinding, as we have found Gurenham.
And the difference of finding coal and finding that That grind has made so much difference. HighRofellos not able to do so as of yet.
Found magic armor in the shop. Cost of 7,700 golds. Of course, Erdrick's armor would supersede that, but of course the question is, where is Erdrick's armor? We find plenty of gold behind those chests.
Joker, Joker, Joker in the back there. My goodness.
All you have to do is answer one question from any category and you win the game.
Yeah, there you go.
And we did find the staff cave there. So once we find the stones, we could turn it in for the Staff of Rain.
The silver harp.
Oh yeah, Silver Harp, excuse me, yes. You do need the stones as part of the combination to get the rainbow drop, yes. You're right.
Rogue Scorpion's a little too high a defense for even that broadsword. Oh, and they have fire breath, too.
Yep, and Mr. Holmes trying to make a breakaway, and this Rogue Scorpion is having none of it. And that's going to send him back to the castle.
They are a difficult enemy to run away from. The only enemy with higher agility is the Metal Slime. They're tied with the Red Dragon with 90 agility. So, good luck trying to get away.
It's funny, it's hard to run away from a Metal Slime, not that you would, but it's also hard to defeat a Metal Slime because they like to run away themselves.
They are definitely a tease.
That's for sure. HighRofellos now in Remulder as well. Looks like he's going to be stocking up on some more magic keys.
Oh, a nice sleep run technique there on that wolf from Mr. Holmes. Little tidbit in that you can put an enemy to sleep, and while it's asleep, you're guaranteed to run away.
And HighRofellos finding out the same thing that Mr. Holmes found out. Those 2 magic keys got him a herb. Druid Lords have hurt, which isn't the worst thing in the world. However, heal more, on the other hand, more annoying. Ooh, but
nice
getting a
crit.
And that will take care of the Druid Lord, and another Druid Lord will get him to level 8.
Oh, DL2 breath from the Wyvern.
Toasty wyverns there, and that is not a sight to see, sending Mr. Holmes back to start. A Wraith Knight on HighRofellos' side is able to escape. And the AK-47, but HighRofellos is able to escape.
Well, doing a good job of bonking around the dark, but will the third time be the charm as well? Yes.
Now you can see that both of our players are being different sprites. Look at the 657 golds. That's not too shabby, but if HighRofellos takes a death, he'll lose half of that gold. And there's another Wraith Knight. Can he escape again? Yes!
He's just trying to get out of this first zone, and there's a different set of enemies here in the basement. Some nice navigating in the dark here, and there's Erdrick's sword!
What a find for HighRofellos. Now he can do some serious damage, but when you've got AK-47s that do hurt more, yeah.
Well, he still gets away.
Still managed to get away. Now Metal Scorpion gonna try to put it to sleep, and it works for HighRofellos. When he used the herb, but Metal Scorpion awakes just as fast. Is he going to go for the sleep again? Will it work? It does. Actually, metal scorpions have no sleep resistance. It's going to work 100% of the time. Unfortunately,
Oh, no.
they too have heal more, and HighRofellos is like, that's enough.
I'm too busy spelunking this cave, says HighRofellos.
Finds a torch, some more gold. So we have MisterHomes playing as Yoshi and HighRofellos playing as the orange ghost from Pac-Man, which would be Clyde, or if you're playing Miss Pac-Man, Sue, or if you're playing Pac-Man Jr., Tim.
That is some good in-depth Pac-Man knowledge right there.
You better believe it is. And Wolflord's going to send HighRofellos back to start that 13 gold, proven to be unlucky, cut it in half.
And that was unfortunate, as the sleep attempt on, I believe, 2 occasions there did not take effect, and you have a 3 out of 4 chance of hitting it. So that was a little unfortunate there. It's like hitting like hitting Lingwar twice in a row.
Yeah, that's a game nose if I've ever saw one. As we have a wizard on MisterHomes' side, and trying to run away, and it's not going to do him any good. Nope. MisterHomes did pick up level 8. 975 points are needed to get to level 9.
So a little ways to go, but that Erdrick sword can certainly help out here.
HighRofellos going back to Romualdo to purchase some more magic keys. And it looks like he's going to head to the south. As MisterHomes is now in Gurenham. Buy some herbs. HighRofellos might be doing the same thing here for a run.
Well, taking a little bit of inventory of what's there in the shop, at least armor-wise. No shields of which to speak.
Yeah, we've already seen, 3 towns, no shields at all, so hopefully there's some shields in the other 2 towns that we have not discovered yet in Cantlin, and of course, Breckenary.
So there's the staff cave over on HighRofellos' side, and I was thinking about going into that cave, but is out of torches, and now, well, back to the ever-convenient Gurenham shop. To answer the question in chat, Erdrick's sword was in the mountain cave on the 2nd floor.
And keep in mind that MisterHomes gave it 2 attempts, but he got stopped on the 1st floor both times.
So he never made it down to that 2nd level to be able to get anywhere with it.
And that's one of those things that can turn a race around like that. I mean, it's not necessarily always going to be Sharlock that determines races for run, but something as simple as the mountain cave, MisterHomes tried it twice, got unlucky twice. What do we have?
Well, HighRofellos is doing a kind of little interesting gold grind here, is utilizing the keys that he has, knowing that those 3 gold chests all have gold in them, and is trying to get up to the 7,700 gold to buy the magic armor.
Oh, that's a very nice idea there, because with that magic armor, you can do a heal walk. Not as good of, obviously, as the one when you get Erdrick's armor, but it is still a good idea nonetheless. Plus, gives you a nice boost in defense. How much are we talking about?
Well, the chainmail that currently has 10, I mean, you'd be going up to 24, so a nice 14 defense boost, plus that healing 1 hit point per 4 steps, and it reduces the damage done by the hurt and hurt more spells by a 1/3. So it's a pretty good idea here.
It's quite significant, that's for sure, and of course, why not stock up on herbs as well? There's a Spectre on MisterHomes' side. It's a nice, healthy 47 experience points and 75 gold. Takes him down. He finds himself just 109 points away from level 9. This gold right here will give HighRofellos the cash to purchase that magic armor if that's what's on his mind.
And I believe it is, as he is making a beeline, or maybe a ghost line, back to the weapon and armor shop.
MisterHomes doing some good grinding here. Here's a rogue scorpion. He can take it down. This will give him level 9, even 1,000 experience points. Running out of HP, is going to use an herb, just in case that the next attack won't land it. But it does not.
Oh, it has heal.
Ooh, gonna put it to sleep. That's a good idea. Of course, it's never fun when an enemy wakes up only after just one turn. There's a wyvern. Excellent move. That's gonna do it. The crit will land level 9 for MisterHomes. Let's find out what we get. We've got 5 power, 10 speed, 3 HP, 3 magic points, a new spell. We've got Heal More and Return. That's a huge one to get, that Heal More. HighRofellos, that DL2 breath from those wyverns will send him back to the castle. Just 10 experience points away from level 7.
So going to stock up on keys, or gonna try to see what that last chest in the mountain cave was? Or maybe both.
Level 10 is at 1,500 points, so now the grinds start to get more tougher as we go into the double digits. Couldn't run away from a Drakey, so it just decides to run away itself. That was kind of funny there on HighRofellos' side.
Yeah, no, you can't run away. I'm gonna run away.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you think about running? That's my job.
Right. Ooh, it dodges on HighRofellos, that Poltergeist. Poltergeist has 15 experience to give 18 to 23 HP, and HighRofellos takes him down. Gonna get level 6. Level 7, excuse me. Ooh, our first dragon of the evening, a blue dragon, and MisterHomes is able to run away.
Yeah, that's a little spicy for this this particular point of the race.
Nice crit there. The excellent move for MisterHomes to take down that Druin. Look at this chain of bridges here. This looks like a dead end, though. Let's see. Yep, it sure is.
Oh, well, there's the fire.
2 HP.
Able to get
the
away,
bear.
but gotta use an herb here. Yep.
Oh, and a green
here's the green
dragon, and
dragon.
is able to escape. Nice job. Druin Lord now for MisterHomes. Good 58 experience points right there. Ooh,
And a
a
nice
crit.
crit.
Very nice there for HighRofellos, getting the Wolf Lord down. Very, very nice. That's another 52 experience points, and here's another Wolf Lord.
Just critting all over the world here. MisterHomes and HighRofellos.
MisterHomes now back into coal. I don't believe HighRofellos has been to coal just yet. Oh, an AK-47. Oh, this looks bad. Can he escape? No.
No.
Ooh, the Warlock missing completely there on MisterHomes. That's an easy 28 points.
Just 68 away from level 10, and the Druid Lord will get him just short of that.
Yep, right you are, Fron. The next enemy he sees should be enough.
Yep, getting him up to 1490. Feels weird saying that without 4 call letters afterward, but...
Right, an AM station. Absolutely, I totally got it there. And would you believe a ghost... Or no, that's a specter. Looks like a ghost, but that is a specter. This will get him to level 10 once he takes him down. Getting ambushed by that knife, no fun there for HighRofellos. Let's look at the level up to level 10. 3 power, 6 speed, 2 HP, 2 magic, another new spell.
There it is. Hurt more.
Oh man, MisterHomes getting the big spells. That's what we like to see around here.
Business just picked up.
Oh yeah, the expediting is in process now, Mr. Burgundy.
Hurt More is a spell that when it hits, it does a damage range of anywhere from 58 to 65 hit points of damage.
Of course, the big question is, which enemies are the most resistant to Hurt More? Other than the Dragon Lord, you only have a 1 in 16 chance of landing Hurt More. And you usually won't see that happen unless a runner has to throw what I like to call a Hail Mary when they haven't dealt enough damage to DL2.
Well, Wraith Knights are a great enemy to use it on. A quick 72, you're guaranteed to one-shot if it hits, and the Wraith Knight has a 3 out of 16 resistance. So about 18%, so you're 82-ish percent likely to hit it. Level 8 now for HighRofellos.
Another Wraith Knight for MisterHomes, going for another Hurt More, but this time it missed.
Yep, Wraith Knight 3 out of 16 said, I just blocked your spell.
Nice 705 gold value there for MisterHomes, but he is about to hit the jackpot unless the AK-47 says something about that.
Oh, with Hurt More.
Going for a Hurt More of his own, it lands. Another Hurt More from the Armor Knight. It's going to come down to this. It lands! That was huge there.
A note in chat from, my competitor tomorrow night, Tristal, saying, correction, you have a 50-50 shot of landing Hurt More on DL2. You either do or you don't. Hashtag Tristlock.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Either hits or it doesn't.
Yep, 6% of the time, it works every time.
Right. MisterHomes did get Erdrick's sword, so he's definitely established himself a lead in this seed.
And, well, he also, pending something, well, some sort of a roadblock here, we'll find out what that last chest is that HighRofellos did not. It is a torch.
Alright, so HighRofellos didn't really miss out on much. He'll chant the spell of outside. HighRofellos will sleep at the inn here in Gurnham. And he'll get out of town and try to continue our quest. Now, we still have not found Breckenary, Cantlin, or Hawksness.
Yeah, a lot of things still out in the wild here.
Yeah, no Freebie Cave, no Jerk Cave, no Sharlock. There's still a lot of this overworld yet to be uncovered for Ron.
Yep, and Garen's Grave's still at large as well, as Joyzel notes, and yes, Dragon Warrior math with Scott Steiner. Look for, if you have Hurtmore, look for a Magiwyvern, you have 141 2/3 chance of hitting it.
I don't like those odds.
No sacrifice needed there.
Bunch of dead ends here. Mr. Holmes finds that the mountains are blocking his path. HighRofellos did get up to level 9 just a couple of moments ago, so he's just one level behind Mr. Holmes at the moment. With 999 experience points. Gotta love it. Ooh, our first gold. They are spicy with DL2 Breath of their own.
Wow, what a lewd and rude gold man.
That ain't just any gold. That's liquid gold right there. Ooh, and HighRofellos going to try to take down this AK-47. Landed one Hurtmore. Going to try to attack it to finish it off. Ooh, there's a Hurtmore, and down to just 18 points, and not going to take any chances. HighRofellos going to use Heal More to try to finish it off. And there's an excellent move. That'll do it. Well done there for HighRofellos.
Do it. So certainly not out of it here.
Oh, not at all. He's finding a good zone to try to grind on, but and Blue Dragon packing a punch. That's 37 HP right there. Gonna have to use a Heal More. Still has 45 magic left. Of course, HighRofellos getting a crit! That'll
Another excellent move.
Oh, man! Great job there for HighRofellos. So, yeah, he's definitely feeling some signs of trying to get back into this. He's just 91 points away from tying it up in terms of the leveling department. However,
there's level 11.
On its way for Mr. Holmes. What do we get? A power boost of 5, 17 HP, and a new spell. It is going to be, I don't know.
And 0 agility, 0 MP. I loathe it.
Yeah, double the zeros and a spin. I didn't see it. He went too fast. What did he get?
We don't know because Mr. Holmes went into... Oh, well, there it was. Radiant. Yeah, he went into his inventory.
So AK-47 is the spike tile in this cave. And should HighRofellos succeed against this Blue Dragon, he will get level 10. So yeah, he's definitely catching up in the XP department. But Mr. Holmes finding a good grinding spot right here. Yeah, he's definitely grinding. There's level 10 for HighRofellos.
Probably figures there's at least... I was going to say, level 12 for 3,000 might be a little out of the realm of possibility with just the 8. Well, he's going to give it a go, but that back attack not helping.
No, not at all. Oh, and they have more! Oh, you hate to see that, folks. AK-47, the latest enemy to show off that spell. My goodness gracious. How many enemies is that? That's at least 4.
A lot of them, but Heal More and Hurt More and an Armored Knight. Sounds familiar.
Sounds like the true definition of an AK-47, Farron. Yeah, I like what Smashy calls it. They have both more. I love it.
Both more, yep.
That'll stop Mr. Holmes dead on his tracks trying to get to level 12. So he's going to go ahead.
So occasionally when you're mixing together a randomizer, some vanilla beans get thrown in there. It just happens.
HighRofellos is able to run away from that gold man. Little does he know they've got DL2 breath, or maybe he does know, and I missed it, and that's a dead end. Chance against the sack. One shots it for 130 HP. Very nicely done.
Yep, those are ideal if they're in a grind spot.
First Red Dragon, the fun police has shown up, and they have sleep. Talk about fun.
They are known in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community as the fun police because when they show up, the fun generally tends to stop.
Although, personally, I think the AK-47s have taken over that role, but Wolflord dodging that attack, but HighRofellos' defense breaking that enemy and only dealing 1 damage on that previous hit. And there goes the Wolflord. That's good for 52 points. And now level
here
12.
Is 12.
What do we get? Any big power? 13! That's some big power. And another new spell. What do we learn? I have no idea. He's not checking. Repel.
Repel's pretty helpful. Meanwhile, we have the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave that has a magic key for HighRofellos.
Not a bad freebie there. It's a 53 gold value. I think it's better than nothing. Dragon for HighRofellos. Gonna go for some Hurtmores here. Lands the first one. And it's a one-shot kill. Very nice.
Holmes, meanwhile, maintaining about 1,000 experience lead.
HighRofellos getting ambushed by this rogue Scorpion here. Chance for 70 points. Gets the one shot with the Hurtmore. And that will be level 11. Nice one shot on the Wyvern there from MisterHomes. And there's the Jerk Cave for HighRofellos. We don't have all of the pieces necessary. We have to get the token, we have to have the stones, and we have to have the staff. Otherwise, the Jerk just kicks you off. Because when you have all 3 of those, you get the rainbow drop. Because that is the Jerk's favorite candy. You know that's not a treasure chest that's behind them? That's actually a candy dish. And he doesn't just give rainbow drops for free. They're very precious to him.
No, they're like Wonka's everlasting gobstoppers.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Of course, what the rainbow drop does is it gains you access into Charlock. But we haven't even found Charlock yet.
Now the wheels are spinning of the Candyman spoof parody.
Yes, for sure. Somebody get to work on it right away using a Dragon Warrior theme. In any event, back to the action in hand here. Taking on this Wraith Knight is HighRofellos. And we still have not seen 3 towns, that are outstanding that could have, very vital pieces to this puzzle. Simultaneous Axe Knight kills as MisterHomes now knows the location of the Jerk Cave, and bad luck there for HighRofellos, getting ambushed by a Wyvern who immediately takes advantage using DL2 Breath, and HighRofellos had 2 HP to spare there.
And that looks to be just about it for that other side of the Swamp Cave.
Yeah, it looks like the end of the road to me as well, Furon. There's one of the many enemies that has Healmore, that Wolflord.
Because why not?
Absolutely.
Oh, no Hurtmore for the Axe Knight here. Oh, HighRofellos, a little low on the MP as well. Was going to cast Return, but is 1 MP short. You need 8, and he only has 7.
I hate to see that. Spectre gets in his way. But not a problem there for Rofellos. Axe Knight for MisterHomes. But that's going to send him back to the castle. Here's a green dragon, but he gets ambushed. It has stop spell, but it did nothing. Another stop spell, another ineffective use of that spell, and down goes the green dragon for Rofellos. Very good. It's at 2,967, just 33 points away from equalizing the level that MisterHomes is at. Oh, a Star Wyvern. Oh, boy.
And a little ways to go for Holmes to get to level 13. 4,125, the target number.
Use the hurt more. It lands, but HighRofellos is going to need a big one here. And that's just not going to do it. It was a good try, but he needed an excellent move to take down that Armored Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Just a standard knight for MisterHomes. That'll be an easy one-shot with the hurt more.
Yep, the most HP that the Knights can have is 47, so that's well below what a Hurtmore can hit with. Red Dragon, on the other hand, not so much.
Yeah, MisterHomes getting caught by the fun police, but he's able to escape on the second try. There's an AK-47 for MisterHomes, getting ambushed and going to lose 38 on the Hurtmore. And MisterHomes counters and lands it. There's level 13 for MisterHomes. Let's see what kind of boost we get. 8 power, pretty good. 5 speed, 3 hit points, 8 magic, another new spell on the board. Looked like stop spell.
So we have a question in chat, why do they call it an AK-47? Well, it is one of the hardest hitting enemies in the game, and because of its initials, A and K for Armored Knight, it kind of works with it. Yes, I know there's also an Axe Knight, but it doesn't hit as hard as the Armored Knight does.
And not even close. It's like night and day between those two. Really good question, though.
And no, Smashy making a good observation in chat. HighRofellos is playing very well, and against most other opponents would be probably in the lead here.
I agree. I mean, he is holding his own in this race. I mean, he got off to that really rough start the first, 6 minutes of this race, but he has held his own since then. Unfortunately, the fun police saying, "You've had enough fun, I'm sending you back to the castle." But he did pick up level 12 along the way, though, so he's back to only being 1 level behind Holmes.
So there is the Tablet Cave, which just had a cursed belt. Holmes, not enough MP to be able to cast outside, so has to take that long-ish walk back.
HighRofellos running into a Star Wyvern, going to go for a hurt more, which lands successfully. Does not get breathed on, thankfully, and will take it down. Very nicely done. That's 105 experience points right there. Ooh, and the fun police shows up again at MisterHomes' door. And there's HighRofellos finding the death necklace. Now, he found it so late. Interesting. I think this could come into play, Farron, considering what we're looking at for HP at the moment.
I mean, the gains have been pretty good, but I mean, there's going to need to be a bunch more over the course of the next couple of levels for it to make a significant impact.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to want to get to that target number of 129 for a max to be able to potentially use the Death Necklace and withstand the full brunt of 2 Dragon Lord 2 breaths in the final battle.
Right, because with the armor, the Erdrick's armor, it'll do a maximum of 48. I believe the range is 42 to 48 that DL2 breath can do. So yeah, you want to have bare minimum 97 HP going into that fight to withstand a breath and then make an attack. Of course, you want a little more than that because sometimes their normal attacks can do low 50s. By the way, Breckenary, we did see Breckenary on MisterHomes' side, and that was where all the shields were for Ron.
Well, a lot of people joke about the town of Breckenary not being very useful, so this seed found a way. It's like, all right, well, if you want a shield, you gotta come to Breckenary, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, a lot of people like to make fun of that town. I don't know why, but there you go.
Well, it doesn't get the love that the other towns get because it doesn't have any major searchable items like a coal or a hawk's nest. It doesn't have the access to keys like Rimeldar does. It doesn't have the access to the coordinates like Cantlin does. And it doesn't have the chests in the back of it like Garenham does. So it's... compared to the other towns, it's less preferred. Plus, as chat notes, they like making fun of lots of things.
Did find the cursed belt as well. And MisterHomes has found Hawksness. Bound to see something big behind the spike tile here, of course. People in chat, make your predictions on what enemy is going to be behind that spike tile. Ooh, there's a Sharlock sighting on HighRofellos' side.
So Home's gonna heal here, and we've got the Red Dragon, the fun police in Hawksness.
Well, Beta Strep wanted a Red Dragon, and a Red Dragon he got.
So too did Angel FA. There were a lot of people looking for the Red Dragon there. I mentioned it earlier, the Schadenfreude is strong with this group.
Silver Harp, that's the ticket we need to go back into the Staff Cave, pick up our Staff of Rain, and that's another puzzle piece in the books. We just need to find the stones now.
Alright, Home's gonna take out a blue dragon. Game Boy, get ready for 180 experience.
That was perfect. Yes, it's been a long time since I've seen darts on TV, but yeah, I love it. Meanwhile, HighRofellos has found the town of Cantlin. As you can see, there is all of those electrified tiles that block that path that give us coordinates. Now, what could the coordinates lead to is the big question.
Well, we haven't seen Erdrick's armor yet. We also haven't seen the stones, and, well, looks like all the pricey stuff's in that shop there.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, the fairy flute also is a possibility that puts a golem to sleep, although we haven't seen much of the golem in this seed.
Oh, we've seen the gold man, and that's about it. Now, HighRofellos has to make sure he knows how many hit points he's losing, because it's 15 every time you hit a tile. Let's take a look. Do we have coordinates? 31 south, 1 to the east. That's it. 1 to the east. I got a feeling that Princess Gwalin is going to just stay in the cave making rolls for the green dragon, or whoever is guarding it. That looks like good coordinates to me.
Oh yeah, HighRofellos immediately casting Repel after returning back home. Going down, counting past a little bit of water that's there. Might have to go around to the other side, I believe so.
That's not a big deal, though.
And there's
Erdrick's armor! Ooh, huge find there for HighRofellos. So now he can go into the marshes, not take any damage, and that is going to give a faster heal walk, and that is going to reduce the amount of damage you take against DL2 breath.
Yeah, it's it's like the Swiss Army knife of armors. It has the most defense with 28 defense points. It's got, oh goodness, you don't take any damage in the Swamper barrier tiles, as you mentioned. It reduces the damage done by hurt and hurt more spells, as well as by the fire breath and DL2 breath. It negates the spell of stop spell, and every step you walk, it heals 1 HP.
Yep, that's right, and HighRofellos will go into the end. The cheapest in the game at just 6 gold pieces, and he did buy a large shield as well. MisterHomes currently now in level 14. HighRofellos currently at level 12. However, he's only about 560 points away from level 13. Unfortunately, AK-47s, as we had mentioned earlier, they have both more. Ooh, the Fun Police catches HighRofellos and puts him to sleep.
Ooh.
Luckily, it's just a one-turn sleep, and is able to escape.
Doesn't happen very often, but hey, when the odds are in your favor, you take it.
Certainly. To get to level 15, we need 7,500 experience points, and another Fun Police that puts HighRofellos to sleep. This is no fun for HighRofellos, and he's going to be sent back to start.
Oh, slept and wrecked.
Got away the first time, but the second time, the Fun Police says, "We're putting you into the slammer for the night."
Yep, back you go to the sin bin, the penalty box. That is the lecture from the king.
Right. So I guess at this point, MisterHomes is looking for a good grinding spot at the moment. Of course, he's still looking for the stones, still looking for Erdrick's armor. He has not found Cantlin yet. Now, where is HighRofellos heading to? MisterHomes finding the freebie cave. You'll get nothing because his inventory is full, but it would have been a magic key. More Fun Police for HighRofellos.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, this could be bad. Oh no, he's put to sleep. Oh, and he's not waking up either. And if he doesn't wake up on this turn, man, that's brutal. It's almost like I got a feeling something tells me I know who the Fun Police is written for. You know, not to name names. But that's just brutal. I mean, very unfortunate there for HighRofellos.
Well, to take one of your catchphrases that's so apropos, RNG favors the favorites.
Yes, that was definitely a phrase that I had coined during the Super Smash TV tournament, and it certainly appears to be that way, but there's still time left. Look at this, an excellent move from MisterHomes to one-shot a green dragon. Nice hurt more there from HighRofellos on the blue dragon. One more hit ought to do it. He's got it.
Well, while there is plenty of time, the experience lead growing significantly here. We'd mentioned a little bit ago it was a differential of a little under 1,000. Now you see here it's closer to 2,700.
Yeah, and that's going to widen after he takes down this green dragon, and it's going to be over 2,900 now.
So I'm looking in chat here. Trails, as far as your reference? No, sir. I didn't like it. There, I figured you'd appreciate that.
Unfortunately, Mr. Holmes missing on that hurt more against the Star Wyvern. This time he connects. And there's another 105 experience points on the board for Mr. Holmes.
Holmes going to cast return, head back to Rimmildar, re-up on the MP. Meanwhile, HighRofellos at an even 4,000 experience, but is still dealing with the Fun Police.
Yeah, and the Fun Police, they have had their way against HighRofellos. Going to use a heal more. I would imagine going to try to run away again, but he has had no luck running away, and he's going to pay the price again.
Oof.
He's able to awake, but go for the heal more again. He's going to try to run away. This time he's able to escape. So a break there. And out of the frying pan and into the fire for on.
Oh, man.
At least they're a little more tolerable than the Fun Police. A little more tolerable.
Yeah, you can at least cast Hurt more on the Armored Knights and have a good chance of hitting it.
We say a good chance because there is an opportunity that they can resist. What is it, 1 out of 16?
1 out of 16. So, to quote from earlier, 93% of the time, it works every time.
Right. And HighRofellos did get up to level 13 with that one. Now HighRofellos is in Hawk's Nest. He'll be able to get that harp if he's able to survive. Well, he's not going to like what he sees on that spike tile, that's for sure. Here it comes. And there's the sleep. We kind of knew it was coming. Oh, and it's going to be more than one turn. It's 2 turns. Oh, and the dodge! Oh my gosh! If this doesn't say game knows, I don't know what does.
Wow.
And it's going to send them start with that 41. Wow. The Fun Police. Something tells me that on the wanted posters that these Fun Police put up this morning, HighRofellos was public enemy number 1.
Man, that was a huge whammy he ran into there.
Yeah, that was the 4th whammy. That's for sure.
But not out of the game just yet.
Not at all, but that is definitely a significant setback, to set the least. I mean, when you're going up against a runner like Mr. Holmes, I mean, luck has to be on your side, and unfortunately, luck has just not been on his side this evening. I mean, again, there is still time. I mean, Mr. Holmes, you know, Sharlock could come into play. You just never know. And if there's like a lot of like nasty enemies in Sharlock, I mean, anybody could come out on top. And there's another red dragon. And somehow, some way, HighRofellos is able to escape. Mr. Holmes trying to take it down with this hit. That's not going to do it. It's going to put him to sleep. If it's a second turn sleep, it's gonna send him back to start. Wow, so Fun Police having a little bit of fun with Mr. Holmes now. What comes around goes around.
Oh, man. Well, the game just showing number 1 ranking. Well, we're going to humble you a little bit.
Absolutely, that's exactly what they did right there. I mean, it's more of an annoying send-back than a costly one for Mr. Holmes, but we'll see how this plays out. As HighRofellos running into a Star Wyvern, going for a hurt more, and it connects. One more attack ought to do it, and it does.
So Holmes looking for another enemy here. And that will get him to level 15.
A Red Dragon would certainly do it because he only needed 36 points, and these Red Dragons have the max 255. The randomize have 255. Two enemies. No.
3.
It is 3. I was right the first time.
Yep.
Golem, which we haven't seen. I guess that's the reason why I only said 2. We haven't seen any golems yet, which means I'm calling it right now, Spike Tile and Sherlock.
Just because we haven't seen it.
Exactly. And that's the only one we're going to see. I'm calling it right now. And Fun Police is continuing to give Mr. Holmes problems himself now. Metal Slime, of course. That's another enemy we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen any Metal Slimes. And another Red Dragon. I think HighRofellos is going to be seeing these in his sleep. Literally.
Yeah, for those just joining us, this has been a bit of a struggle in the beginning. Rimuldar was right next door, but they started with 5 strength. They ended up both burning their key before they knew that Rimuldar was right near the starting castle, and raided the treasury for the fighter's ring, which, to answer a question in chat earlier, when you put on the fighter's ring, it adds 2 attack power to your total, and that is permanent. Here's level 15, 4-2, 4-11, and a spell.
Boy, that Red Dragon continues to put HighRofellos to sleep there. That was a 1 turn and still can't run away. Oh, and that could send him back to start. It doesn't, but he's going to get sent with this attack. It's a 3-turner at the very least. And now Mr. Holmes being put to sleep. Boy, Fun Police earning its nickname tonight. That's for sure, Furron.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but Stop Spell has been placed by Mr. Holmes, and it landed. And that is tough because it's only a 1 in 4 chance you're going to land it. They are very much resistant to the Stop Spell.
Holmes recognizing that was the tablet cave and heading back out of there.
Look at that crit.
I think we're looking at this point. This is just an all-out, put the APB out for Garen's grave.
Oh, so Red Dragons actually didn't know this. I wonder which enemies. I'm going to have to learn this. Which enemies are randomized in terms of what can be resistance? Is it just Red Dragons? Is it all enemies? What do you say about that, Farad?
When it comes to the resistance, if they get a spell, then the stop spell resistance is randomized between... I think there's a sliding scale, but for a Red Dragon, it can be as low as 0 out of 16 or as high as 12 out of 16.
I see. So because the Red Dragon had the sleep spell, that value gets randomized. So if it didn't have any spells and it just had attacks, then it would have been a 12 out of 16 chance. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. Well, Beta Strep has it here. So the hurt and sleep resistance for enemies are fixed. Stop spell is random between 0 and a number based on the enemy number divided by 3 and rounded down. So because the Red Dragon is enemy number 36... divide that by 3, it can be 0 to 12.
And that's what I see right here, is 12. So there you go.
But for the randomizer, yeah, if it doesn't have any spells, it's a 15 out of 16 resistance.
Right.
And HighRofellos has found Garen's grave.
Ooh. And look what else he's found. More problems. Ooh, was able to escape, though. Can he get to that chest? Man, it's so close. Will he get any? Of course he does, but it's something he can manage. It's just an AK-47, which, again, we've seen worse. We've seen worse in, seeds past. Mr. Holmes is back into Gurnham. Buy some more herbs. Checking the chests here. Fairy water. That one had nothing.
Well, JZ-Man in chat saying Hyro has 99 problems and a Red Dragon is certainly one.
AK-47 Armored Knight. He's able to get 1 hurt more off. See if he can get the second one off as well. He does. Very good. And get those points. Close it in on level 14. Mr. Holmes gonna cash in his harp to get that Staff of Rain.
Now, will this be where the stones is? Yes, it is.
That's a great find there for HighRofellos. Of course, he still has to get the man. How big is that death now in Hawksness?
Oh,
I think,
wow.
I mean, if he's able to survive that fight, you could argue this is close to even.
So now it's just a matter of how long will it take Mr. Holmes to find Garen's grave where HighRofellos currently is, versus how long will it take for HighRofellos to get back to Hawksness and retrieve that silver harp.
Yeah, because they both know where the Jerk Cave is. I mean, I know for sure HighRofellos knows where Sharlock is. I gotta believe at this point Mr. Holmes knows too. Even though I haven't seen it on his side. But, who knows?
And also a good point in chat, Mr. Holmes still needs to find Cantlin for the coordinates for Erdrick's armor.
You're right, we have not seen Cantlin yet on Mr. Holmes' side. Now, HighRofellos back into Gurnham. Mr. Holmes closing in on level 16. This will put him close to 9,000. He's less than 800 experience points away from getting level 16.
Yep, 9750 the target number, so now looking at 676, I believe, if my math is right.
676 is correct. Yep, that's 9750. Take away 9074, and you get yourself an AK-47. HighRofellos should have no trouble taking him down.
So you've got practiced this with your Press Your Luck hosting. You're able to figure out the differentials between the contestants. You've got that down to a science.
Yes, I do for the most part. Usually I will give the exact dollar amount that you're in the lead or trailing by when I do my games. So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But that's another story.
Yeah, that is another shameless plug for you.
Right. Simultaneous knights on both sides. An axe knight down on Mr. Holmes, and a little bit of HP trouble. HighRofellos going to have to use a heal more because that attack could do enough to send him back to start, which you don't want to see. And HighRofellos with this attack, no, that's not going to take down the Armored Knight. He's going to have to use another. He's going for the hurt more. It lands.
So HighRofellos doing a little dedication to a grind here.
Yeah, he's doing what... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and Jay Coper has it in chat here. This is a close race. If you look just at the experience, you think, oh, Mr. Holmes has a commanding lead, but Mr. Holmes is looking for a few things, whereas HighRofellos, he just needs to get that harp traded in for the staff, and he's in grind and go mode.
Absolutely. And this is a great idea for HighRofellos. Grinding, this will get him to level 16. This Armored Knight right here, once he takes him down, there it is, that'll be level 14.
So there's the fairly modest level 14, 6 strength, 9 agility, 4 hit points, 5 magic points. And you see there, 14, not quite there, but...
And the attack power is 124, so you're looking at a 6 to 12 damage on the Dragon Lord. so we're going to need a little more help than that for HighRofellos. Again, that's where that death necklace could come into play. He may try to play the catch-up mode and give it a shot if he's got enough HP.
We see at level 15, it's 120 max HP.
And 75% of that is only 90, so that wouldn't be enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Holmes is thinking, who turned on big swamp mode right now? He decided to get on out of there.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how much of the swamp guards, the final mansion of the game, Laruba Mansion, there's a lot of that swamp that guards it on both sides.
Well, here is level 16. We've got 2 power, 5 speed, 1 hit point, 4 magic points.
Ooh, yeah, you could throw Death Necklace out. Death Necklace can be thrown out the window. 16 won't be enough to make it worth your while, because that's only 121 HP. Oof.
But the strength isn't necessarily there, so this might be something where level 17 might have to be the level.
Yeah, that's not really particularly good news for HighRofellos. I mean, he's got to feel he's behind. I mean, he is, but he's still in the running. I mean, let's not discount him just yet. He is definitely in the running against Mr. Holmes. He's had a lot of bad luck, whereas, you know, Mr. Holmes has had some luck, but unfortunately, he's not been able to find the big piece of the puzzle in Cantlin.
And you have to figure the longer this seed goes, I mean, we're already almost 90 minutes in, and Holmes is thinking, if HighRofellos has the armor, I'm in some trouble.
Yeah, that's one thing that could be on his mind.
Now, we have seen Sharlock, or at least HighRofellos has.
Yeah, only HighRofellos has, and it's now been confirmed that Mr. Holmes still hasn't even seen Sharlock yet. So HighRofellos knows where it is, knows where Cantlin is. He knows about the spike tile in Hawksnest, but unfortunately he knows it's a red dragon, so he's trying to level up to be a little bit more prepared for the fight.
And to answer the question in chat, these matches are double elimination. So this is the upper bracket. That's actually a good point to kind of look at where people will go based off of this here. So the winner will advance to the Wraith round, the 3rd round, and will take on the winner of the Jay Coper versus Guelph 35 match.
Oh, that was very unfortunate there for HighRofellos. That hurt more missed. This one does hit, though, so he will get the experience points. That'll take him to 7,114. But that will probably be the end of the line, as he's now out of magic points.
Oh, man. And the loser will fall to the bonus bracket and will take on the Seawolf 1.
HighRofellos did use that herb, and that was good thinking there, because now he can go back to the inn without being sent back to start. And can go back on the grind again. Need to get to 12,000 XP to get to level 17. You hate to see that, using a hurt more, and immediately the Armor Knight decides to troll with HighRofellos.
Yeah, this is definitely where you want to utilize a strat of attacking first, and he did that,
but the attack plus the hurt more was not enough.
Oh man, and this is unfortunately turning to be a sink for HighRofellos. Gonna have to use a heal more right there.
Well, my guess is he's dedicating, he's getting that grind to go to 15, and he's, I believe, just one more will not do it.
Not quite. Needs 2 more armored knights. If you were to find a red dragon, no. Pass on the red dragon, please. He doesn't want anything to do with the red dragon. But that would be the only other enemy that would give him enough points from 214, because the second place enemy is a blue dragon at 180. Or technically 4th place, because there's a 3-way tie for first.
Yeah, semantics.
Right. Alright. This armored knife will do it as long as he doesn't get trolled.
He was debating going to the hurt more, but is going to double attack and then go for the hurt more to guarantee the kill. Does just that, and here is level 15 for HighRofellos.
We'll see if this level makes him decide to go for the play 4-2-4-11. And there's the
there's stop spell.
Yeah, and that's good. What he's going to want against the red dragon is to use that stop spell. And the fun police have returned on MisterHomes' side.
And there's the sleep.
Yep. 1 turn. Oh, this could send him back.
Oh!
It doesn't yet, but he's gonna get sent back on another sleep turn. And, well, it kind of makes you wonder, is the fun police, they might be onto something against MisterHomes. They know he's lost in terms of trying to find Caitlin and the coordinates to the Erdrick's armor, so have they turned allegiance?
It is hard to say, but in looking here now, HighRofellos is opting to run here, just hanging on to all the MP, hanging on to all the HP, and is just making a beeline for Hawksness.
First, he's going to have to run away from a blue dragon, which he does so successfully, and yep, he is back into Hawksness, and right away runs into a Star Wyvern, but he's able to run away from that. And here comes that red dragon fight. Time for the stop spell. Can he land it on the first try? Boom!
Yes.
Ha! Your sleep's not going to work on HighRofellos this time now, is it, Mr. Fun Police? So
Now that's an interesting question in chat from Brian Williams 42. Is this the grind?
He could do it.
Alright, he gets the silver harp, he drops the cursed belt. Now he's gonna go take care of the little bits of errands, gonna go to the Staff of Rain cave. Go trade in that harp for the staff, probably go find the jerk as well.
HighRofellos is definitely in this match. I'd say right now, it's a slight lead for MisterHomes, but the longer it takes for him to find Caitlin and the coordinates, that lead is going to shift hands.
Right there in Garanham, and the other thing, I mean, Hyro's been keeping up with that, that grind to get the stop spell. Cut the experience lead to, it was at 4,000, now it's about 3,250.
And there's that staff for HighRofellos. So he's got the staff, he's got the token, he's got the stones. So now he can go to the jerk cave and get the all-important rainbow drop. Oh, look at this! Now, fair on Burgundy, Mr. Holmes has found Sharlock. He should be very close to Cantlin.
So Hyro darting to the, well, trying to remember where exactly to the south it was, has to go past a little corridor here, and well, Holmes has found another cave. And it's the grave. Now, here's the other thought. Because Holmes has seen Sharlock, but has had so much trouble finding Cantlin, you don't think that he'd gamble that the armor is in Sharlock? I mean, it's a long shot, but
I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, what do I know? I mean,
yeah, maybe I'm throwing things out there that may not be possibilities, or at least, I mean, they are possibilities, but high unlikelihoods.
I'm gonna be like what they say to Phoenix Wright in the Ace Attorney series. You're grasping for straws, Ferran. HighRofellos getting the everlasting gobstopper, the rainbow drop from the jerk cave, and if you try to talk to him again, he's like, I've already given you one rainbow drop. That is more than enough that you need to complete your quest. Be gone.
Enjoy it.
Right. It's a very rare candy indeed. So, now decision time for HighRofellos. How far is he going to grind it out? Looks like he's going back to the Axe Knight grind. Or, yeah, the Armor Knight, excuse me.
Enjoy it and don't take it to Slugworth.
Right. 10,000 of these things might be enticing, but yeah, don't take it to Slugworth.
Well, a lot of MP gained on level 16. Or 17, rather.
Beta Strip believes that 17 would be a good number to go for Go Mode. So yeah, 12,000 experience points for HighRofellos. And again, if Ferran Burgundy, no, this is it. This is it. He's finally found Cantlin.
Well, I had hoped.
Yep, and Z-Man pointing it out in chat, not looking good for HighRofellos. I mean, Mr. Holmes bought him as much time as he possibly could, but the Red Dragons, you know, mid-game might end up proving to be the difference.
Well, just as I know that you're extremely familiar with Zelda 1 Randomizer, level 9 is the Great Equalizer. Sharlock in Dragon Warrior Randomizer is the Great Equalizer.
Oh yeah, we've definitely seen it come into play. I mean, you have a bad Sharlock dive, and who knows what kind of enemies are there. I mean, if we get ambushed by a red dragon, and let's say it puts Mr. Holmes to sleep for 4 turns in a row, which is a possibility. It's a rare possibility to say the least. Could send him back to start. Yeah, anything is possible. But yeah, a definite advantage for Mr. Holmes. There's no question about it. He still has to get the stones, and he still has to get the rainbow drop.
Oh, that's right. Holmes didn't make it down to where. Oh.
Yeah. Now that we kind of play this game a little bit backwards for Burgundy, we have forgotten that he has not gotten the stones yet, unless we forgot to light it up. But I got a feeling he's not gotten the stones yet. But Any event, level 15 right now for HighRofellos. And he's closing in on level 16. He only needs less than 600 points to get there.
So replenishment here on HighRofellos' side, and this is a great little spot here.
That's an excellent grind because I mean you're right next door to the cave. I mean armored knights, they don't really threaten as much. The only bad things that can happen is if you miss on your hurt mores. And of course they do have heal more as well, but
so MisterHomes back in the grave. Immediately throws a stop spell, but it misses.
Ooh, but does not put him to sleep, so a break there, and the stop spell this time connects. And it's a good thing it did, because Red Dragon is ready to put him to sleep.
Just in the nick of time.
Oh, absolutely. Another Red Dragon, another successful use of the stop spell, and again, good thing it worked because he was ready to put him to sleep.
Well, the way these red dragons are popping up on this first floor, man, MisterHomes might get to level 18 by the time all's said and done.
To get to level 18, 14,250 points. He'll definitely get there. Meanwhile, HighRofellos, just 2 more of these armored knights will get him to level 16, and it'll be decision time for him.
Yeah, we'll look at the stats and see if it is in fact go time. Will HighRofellos press his luck at 16 or pass to 17?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because if he decides to press his luck, he's going to have to get something with an additional spin.
He definitely is. So there's the underwhelming level 16, 2, 5, 1, and 4. The look at the stats, 130, but that 76 defense.
And that
Ooh.
defense awfully low. I mean, with the attack power, you're looking at 7 to 15 a hit. Considering that he's
Chat's saying go for it.
Well, and I can see why the chat would say that. He knows who he's up against in MisterHomes. I mean, no one is finished yet, and he knows it. He might think to himself, do I take a gamble here and risk it a level 16, knowing that MisterHomes could be very close to the finish line himself? I mean, if I was HighRofellos, I'd take a shot at it.
Chat saying I'd want to hit add a 1 on either stat.
Now, HighRofellos is going to Brecconary now.
A little bit of indecision here. You've got...
Yeah,
looking at the inventories, thinking about things here.
You gotta be, like I had mentioned, you want to be decisive when it comes to these kind of randomizer races. Do you think about selling the necklace? I think so. No?
I think he's going to free up the torches. Now,
Fairy Water, maybe going for Fairy Water strats.
I mean, maybe, but with the 130 attack power, your range is just slightly better. 8 to 16 on the Fairy Water versus 7 to 15 with a melee. So, I mean, unless you're hitting 16s on those Fairy Waters, it's kind of a moot point.
Well, true.
Was it 9 to 16? I could have swore I threw one that hit it for 8.
It's 9 to 16.
Oh, it is 9 to 16. Yeah. Okay.
And Mr. Holmes going to get his rainbow drop. So he did get the stones from the grave. So we can light that up. So yeah, he is ready to go, except he still does not have... Or did he pick it up? Yes, he did pick up the...
He picked up the armor.
He does have it, so yep, he's got that.
Well, to answer the question, can he repel with 76 defense? Yes. Can he repel anything in Sharlock with 76 defense? No.
Not a chance. But here he goes. HighRofellos is making the move. He's going to be the first one into Sharlock. He's taking a shot, folks. But if it pays off, he's going to win the race.
So here we go.
Tell you what, I'm excited about this because this is really anybody's game at this point. If HighRofellos gets lucky, he will pull off the big time upset. But as I always like to say, Randomizer doesn't care who you are. Anybody can win any race at any given time. We'll see how it plays out.
Exactly 13 heal mores. And Mr. Holmes going to head into Cantlin for an in-stay, and he's going to be right behind HighRofellos here.
Yeah, this is definitely anybody's race at this point. Hold on to your hat, folks. It is going to get interesting.
Yeah, repel doesn't matter in here anyway. You're running into everything. Just go, 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 Hyro.
Absolutely. Runs into an axe knight, not a big deal, but can't run away.
Well, the agility is low. Now it's going to come to run luck.
Yep, and Mr. Holmes should have an edge on that by a little bit. Look at all the encounters on back-to-back tiles with werewolves. Here comes Mr. Holmes.
HighRofellos getting that Mr. Holmes encounter rate here as he's now in the second basement.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, and runs into a stone man.
And runs from a stone man.
All right, down to the next level for HighRofellos. Farron Burgundy now into the catacombs himself. Another accent. So far, the enemies have been favorable for HighRofellos here in Sharlock, and he needs to continue that up. Another werewolf, but having some trouble running away from it.
All right, Zone 4 for HighRofellos, Zone 1 or Basement 1.
Runs into another werewolf. Mr. Holmes running to a wizard, going to go ahead and attack it. 14,250 is the next level, so Mr. Holmes ought to get to the next level before DL, the Dragon Lord fight. There's a stone man, able to run away. Another axe knight, is able to escape. Another encounter. Yeah, you're talking about that Mr. Holmes encounter. Like I know, getting, and it's DL2 breath for Stoneman.
Oh,
Dragon Warrior. Mr. Holmes has to use a heal more, and HighRofellos having trouble escaping from this axe knight.
Gonna utilize an herb.
And now he's at the final floor. There's Dragon Lord waiting for HighRofellos. Now, can he get there? There's an axe knight. Ooh, and having trouble escaping. Mr. Holmes having trouble escaping from this blue dragon. There's a Star Wyvern. Another Star Wyvern, able to get away. Mr. Holmes gets away from the green dragon. Spike tile approaching for HighRofellos. There's a stone man, able to escape. Remember, they had DL2 breath, so that was a good escape. Spike tile has blue dragon. That's something that HighRofellos loves to see there. So it's looking like HighRofellos is going to have the first crack at the Dragon Lord, folks.
3 shots it. Not going to heal up beforehand. Gets a clean walk to the Dragon Lord.
This is it, folks.
Here we go.
If he gets lucky, he's going to pull off the big-time upset. With all the bad luck he had early on, HighRofellos' chance to take down the #1 seed. Let's find out what happens. We want to see stop spells. It only gets a hurt more there. Use another herb. Another hurt more. The Dragon Lord is having none of it. And here comes MisterHomes. Another hurt more. So I'm going to have to go for it now. The last herb. There's the stop spell hype.
And now just attack. Just go.
Yep. Now if he goes first, doesn't get ambushed, he's going to have the edge. Let's find out what happens. First strike hype.
He's going to go with the fairy water right off the bat. Now the Dragon Lord has anywhere from...
Roll the minimum.
Roll. 150 to 165.
And at 48, you can't take a chance. He had to use that, and he's going to go for the fairy water. 11 takes him up to 20. Remember that the Dragon Lord has anywhere between 150 and 165 points. More fairy water, up to 33 now.
$11 heal mores left.
Another fairy water coming up. 13 more takes him up to 46. Gonna have to use another heal more. MisterHomes breathing down his neck.
Last fairy water.
15 to 61 now. MisterHomes did just get a very strong level. 15 got to 76. That's a big
roll.
Nice roll there. This is going to be oh so close here. There's 88. Low roll on that attack. 98. If it doesn't do 48, he can double. 106. Here comes Dragon Lord now for MisterHomes. Ooh, if that does 40, okay, he's there. 118. All right, here's another attack. 12 takes him up to 130. He's getting oh so close. He's got a really good chance, folks. Now MisterHomes on the DL2. This is going to be a photo finish. He gets first strike. 140. There's 16.
I'll keep track of Holmes.
You can do that. This attack could do it for HighRofellos. 147. No. Comes the next attack for HighRofellos. This could do it. 157 will do it! And HighRofellos is going to pull it off, ladies and gentlemen. He went for it on level 16. It pays off, and HighRofellos has just marked a huge, huge upset in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament, and that is really bad news for people in the bonus bracket. Unbelievable.
Oh, goodness. Get out your GGs for HighRofellos, who has upset the top seed and two-time champion MisterHomes, finishing in first with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 38 seconds.
I tell you what, Fernbergen, you couldn't have asked for a better race than this. It came down to the wire, and yeah, if HighRofellos didn't pull it off there in that fight, it would have been MisterHomes, and then MisterHomes going to go ahead and wrap this up, but oh, what a race between these two. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have our winner, HighRofellos, here in the commentator's booth with us. Congratulations, you've just taken down the two-time defending champion. How are you feeling, my friend? I think he's still in shock.
Yeah.
I don't blame him one bit. He probably can't believe he won himself. Look at how close this was. We're talking literally a minute apart because MisterHomes has just finished.
Oh my God. I am shaking to beat the band. I kept watching during the Dragon Lord fight going, he's gonna dot done. He's gonna dot done. I can feel it. What is going on?
Well, you probably do not want to see another red dragon again for a while after all the torture it caused you. You had that real crucial death in Hawk's Nest that had one of the key components that you needed, the harp. My goodness gracious, but you persevered. The problem is that Mr. Holmes had a lot of trouble finding both Sharlock and Caitlin. You found it well before he did, was able to get Erdrick's armor, and that was enough. You did it.
A 64-second differential, Holmes finishing in second, 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 42 seconds.
I've got no problem seeing red dragons. I just like stop spell before level 15.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. And we do have Mr. Holmes here in the commentator's booth with us. Boy, what a race between you two. But unfortunately for you, I think that the big thing that kind of turned this race against you was just not finding Sharlock and Caitlin in time.
Not surprising whatsoever.
But one of the things I do mention, I mean, Randomizer does not care who you are. Anybody can win any race at any given time. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in this chat and a lot of people in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community who didn't expect this outcome to happen, but it is what it is. And very close again. I mean, he went for it on level 16, Mr. Holmes did. HighRofellos. He carried the Fairy Water, got decent rolls on it, got a couple of good doubles in against Dragon Lord 2, and did just enough damage to make the win happen for him.
Cool. Well, he took his shot and it worked, so I'm very glad to hear that.
HighRofellos, anything you want to talk about this seed? Go over good things, bad things, things you wish would have went differently?
Well, the mountain cave dive the first time was ridiculously lucky. I think I first fled an AK-47 and like 2 other enemies to get down to the sword. And after that, it was just pray it went well enough to get me through the seed, because those opening levels were terrible.
Yeah, I don't think I got the sword to like level 11, so that sounds about right. Yeah, that cave was a nightmare.
Yes, it was. We had joked I would need divine intervention here, and I think we saw divine intervention tonight.
Duly acknowledged.
Yeah, that Sharlock, anything could have happened in Sharlock. I mean, you needed a good dive there, HighRofellos, and luckily the enemy set was on your side. I mean, the only thing that was kind of scary were the stonemen that had DL2 breath, but there were no red dragons, nothing else that was superimposing. It was a fairly swift dive, huh?
There were red dragons on Charlotte.
He got lucky then. He didn't see any.
Yeah, there were some in the last zone. I mean, I got like 15 encounters in the last floor, so it was natural I'd see at least one.
Okay, yeah. Then HighRofellos got lucky because I didn't see any on his side, so he got lucky because that was the enemy that gave him. It sent him to start so many times early on, before he got the stop spell, including the crucial one in Hawk's Nest. But he went for the grind with the Armored Knights right next door to Gurnham, and it proved to be a very sound strategy, and little by little leveled himself up to 16. Knew who his opponent was, so he decided to take a chance. Again, worked out for him. Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it does work.
Well, I play my best when I've got my back to the fence, so it's going to be a grind, but I don't know. One race at a time.
I don't envy the Seawolf one.
Oh, I don't either.
Yes, now that is who you'll be facing next in the bonus bracket. Meanwhile, HighRofellos, you'll be going on to take on the winner of Jake Hoper and Guelph 35, the 16 and 17 seed.
Yeah, I'd just like to throw a comment out there. So my pre-game scouting for this consisted of like 30 minutes of looking at HighRofellos' times, because I'm like, I thought he was pretty good. I'm like, how is he the 32nd seed? And then I looked, and he's just like, he got trolled a bunch and forfeited a bunch of seeds. So his rating didn't reflect his true strength. So I'm not surprised at the end of the day that this was possible.
Well, this was a heck of a watch, a heck of a race. It'll be, it'll definitely be one of note, but we're going to have to step out of the booth here as, don't worry, we're not going anywhere. There's more Dragon Warrior Randomizer action coming your way right here on Speed Gaming 2 as we have Monsieur Slime taking on Cyberdark 86. That is right here. We'll be swapping out commentary and taking care of a few things here as that is just about to get underway here. So we're going to kind of keep things a little short here. So make sure to give both of our runners a follow, HighRofellos and MisterHomes. I also want to thank NYC Guy who took care of the tracking here on this seed. And for my broadcast partner, LOZ Cards Fan 23, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, stay classy, my friends, and more importantly, stay safe.
All right, take care, all.
You better believe it. And remember, stay tuned because coming up next, right here on Speed Gaming 2, again, Monster Slime versus Cyberdark 86, Midnight Moonlight, and the Amused Miniature will be providing commentary for that exciting race. We'll see you in just a bit.